The Area 51 raid was a dud, so let's go check out NIHQ. What's up, meta nerds? This video is going to be a breakdown of the Naval Intelligence Headquarters. There will be some major spoilers for one of the most important arcs in the Clone Wars TV show, coming from Season 5, Episodes 18 through 20. I don't want to ruin that for you, so if you haven't seen it, just go ahead and give this video a like before changing it, and we'll see you back here later. For everyone else, you know that there's a ton of small details that are shown in a split second, so we'll go over all those, as well as the base's origins, its purpose, and information from canon novels that have expanded on it. But let's just start with its location. It is on a part of Coruscant's upper level that is often referred to as Core Square. Just as Coruscant itself is the core of all of the galaxy's happenings, the Federal District is the core of Coruscant. There you'll find 500 Republica, the Compnor Arcology that contained the ISB, the Senate Building and offices, as well as the Jedi Temple. Just about all the major locations on Coruscant are in this district, and fittingly so is the headquarters of the Republic military. An HQ that was designed by a man of the Republic Corps of Engineers known as Orson Krennic. His career started as an architect, but his political and military savvy kept getting him more and more government contracts. And it was in these circles that he would become reunited with a friend that he made in his teen years as a part of the Galactic Republic's future program. Galen Erso was dedicated to kyber crystal research, and Krennic used his pull to secure Erso a professorship at the Institute of Applied Science. The Death Star construction would be entrusted to Krennic, partly due to his success at engineering facilities like the Naval Intelligence Headquarters. The building itself was made of layers of hardened durasteel and permacrete. Being a permanent planet-side structure, it was way stronger than the hull of any Star Destroyer. It was then protected by a series of deflector shields, with 2 large projectors located right on the main building. But it is likely that there are several other generators and deflectors that are spread out across the facility. This shielded area was said to extend far above NIHQ, allowing for a safe scrambling of starfighters and positioning of capital ships. Because surrounding naval intelligence was an enormous airfield and refueling depot. Some of these tubes are for drainage and waste removal that would be channeled out towards a large pit that leads down to the lower levels, but many of these structures are refueling everything from Juggernaut tanks to LAAT gunships, starfighters like ARC-170s and Y-Wings, but also C-70s, Acclamators, and Venators. In the event of an attack, these most likely made up a defense fleet that was dedicated to just this facility, as the Coruscant defense fleet is much larger. When foes can pop out of hyperspace at any moment, having your most important military base surrounded by all this force is a good call. Then, just for good measure, the main building has these rapid repeating heavy turbolaser turrets. They're about the size of the turbolasers seen on the Venator, but fire much faster, perhaps an advantage of having it on-world, where it can be supported by the entire base. And/or these were just the best thing credits could buy, saved for the HQ, but not cost-effective to put on each of the Republic's main Star Destroyers. Out in this plaza, we can see the first battle memorial. This enormous slab of rock was carved out of a Geonosian spire, and lists the designations of the thousands of clones lost during the opening battle of the Clone Wars. This large writing in the center spells out Battle of Geonosis, and around this area are obelisks that have giant carvings of clone troopers on each side. Then you see the flags bearing the colors and galactic roundel that signified the Republic for thousands of years. And one of the most important rooms in there was the Strategic Planning Amphitheater, a location that was holding weekly top-secret meetings by the year 21 BBY, and it is where Krennic, among others, would discuss the threat of a separatist superweapon, the Mobile Battle Station. And it was in this room that the Republic decided to build their own mobile battle station from this captured intel. Because of this location's importance, it was said to make up part of the Supreme Triangle, connecting the Imperial Palace, which was the former Jedi Temple, and the Compnor Arcology, which was a combination of spy agency and propaganda department during the Imperial era. But since this area was so well defended, it was also chosen to house the galaxy's highest level prisoners of war. The Republic Judiciary Central Detention Center had some of the toughest security in the galaxy. Every corner is said to have microphones and micro cameras. Each hallway is either lined with a series of double ray shielded segments, or contains a series of blast doors. Both excellent ways to keep an invading CIS force out, or prisoners in. Now remember, the leader of the CIS was himself a former Jedi, and this may be in part why we see that Ahsoka, and even the famed General Anakin, have no sway over the clones that run this facility.
Let me in.
It is based on Coruscant, so the shock troopers, aka the Coruscant Guard, would have likely been chosen anyways. But since these clones are not used in battle, not loyal to Jedi generals, they have a more deeper connection to the military officials of the Republic. They answer directly to Tarkin, not to those who rely on their hokey religion and ancient weapons. We can see that all visitors must pass through this intake area, which has guards safely behind transparasteel. A full body scan is performed, and even these notable Jedi are not trusted with their weapons, or even their communication devices. Just think about how the Jedi and their lightsaber are allowed to go just about anywhere. The Senate floor, the Supreme Chancellor's office, everywhere but this maximum security prison. This location held high-profile prisoners like Worm Loathsome, leader of the Retail Caucus, and who was responsible for the capture of Christophsis. There was an unidentified T-Series droid, but would have likely have been a high-ranking CIS general like Kalani. There was Wat Tambor, who was the leader of the Techno Union and executive at Bactoid Armor Workshop, and even Poggle the Lesser, overseer of the Bactoid facilities and public leader of the Geonosians, second only to Queen Karina the Great. There are no accounts of how Wat Tambor escaped, but Poggle escaped while being used by Krennic to lead the Geonosian construction of the Death Star. In the unlikely event that anyone escaped from the prison, there were also advanced recon forces, or ARF troopers, that would utilize Massifs to track the prisoner's scent. Cool side note, but the Massifs are native to Geonosis. And then there were all those LAATs equipped with searchlights that could be quickly scrambled when an alarm was sounded. For those accused of treason, as well as for secret trials kept out of the public eye, this location also housed the Military Tribunal courtroom. Here, Jedi and military officials could weigh in on the fate of those that were claimed to have betrayed the Galactic Republic. Tarkin may have been feeling triumphant when he asked that Ahsoka be put to death, but 5 years later on this same compound, a group of rebels would successfully hijack then Moff Williff Tarkin's personal Corvette, the Carrion Spike, while he was attending a meeting at this very compound. Pretty embarrassing too, because it included the Joint Chiefs, leaders of the Compnor, and even Emperor Palpatine. So that's it for our tour of this top-secret Republic facility. And the only behind-the-scenes fact is that the writers intended this arc to show the Jedi's loss of power to the government, eventually foreshadowing the Empire. We see the clones listening to Tarkin, not Jedi, and it shows that the military could have put a Jedi to death, not allowing the Jedi Order to handle their fallen Jedi as they saw fit. The story of Krennic comes from the novel Catalyst, which fans of the channel will know is one of my favorite new canon books. And the Tarkin details come from the Tarkin novel, which is also canon and highly acclaimed as well. If you want to connect with us on social media, find ways that you can help support this channel without it costing you a thing, or check out our Patreon, be sure to check out the links in the description. Special shout out to our supporters over on Patreon, but most important of all, remember, Tarkin stealing the Death Star project from Krennic was just payback for the terrible parking garage design at Naval Intelligence HQ, and the Force will be with you, always.